Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Happy day, everybody in Saberland. What a night. We don't get many of these nights to celebrate here in Buffalo as Sabres fans. It's been all about the Bills this year. Well, the Buffalo Sabres fans, we get our night. Finally, we absolute shellac and spank and wipe the ice with the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. And I'm telling you right now, Steve Dangle up in Toronto is having an absolute mental stroke after watching that performance. The first time they're allowed full capacity at home, the Toronto Maple Leafs have absolute, hockey diarrhea everywhere. That was an absolute sight to see. Unbelievable. So happy. And I'm just going to get right into it. With the exception of maybe mental lapses in the first period where Toronto really had us on our heels, this is the most complete game this team has played all season. And let's not forget, we've had so many issues holding on to leads in the third period. Not only did we hold on to a lead, we added to it. This team added to a lead in the third period that they already had. They didn't allow a team, mind you, one of the best teams in the league, come back and get back into a game. Craig Anderson, I think has win number 298 tonight. Only 2 away from 300, which is an unbelievable feat for a guy like him who deserves it. I can't wait, man. I hope this team does something nice for him that night. Hopefully it happens at home when he does get win number 300. Hopefully you don't have to wait another 6 or 7 games to get win number 300. So I'm elated with the way this team played tonight. I couldn't be happier. Everyone knows my love for this rivalry and what it means to me. What it meant to me back in the late 90s and early 2000s when these teams, it truly, truly, truly was relevant. How much I love the rivalry, how much it meant to me. And to see this team really show out tonight and do as good of a job as they did and actually get a game in the garage for once, just absolutely amazing. I couldn't be happier. I mean, let's be honest. This team has been so frustrating this season in terms of, finishing off games, finishing off games, like I said, getting them in the garage, playing a complete 60 minutes of hockey. And you want to know what, what's there much to complain about tonight? You can nitpick at some analytical things and stuff like that. Sure. The Eakin line wasn't great tonight. I think I read, everyone knows I'm not an analytics guy. I understand the importance of it, but I'm not a huge analytics guy. I've played the game most of my life. I've coached it. And, at some point, I've seen games where, the analytics say that the team should have won, but then you watch the game and they look like absolute dog shit. So I think one of the games actually most recently where that was the case, where analytically they should have won a game against Columbus, but you watch the game, it's like they didn't deserve to win that game. They looked like garbage. They looked like hot garbage. So I'm not going to nitpick on the analytical things. Again, the Eakin line, which I think had an expected goals for 9%. But, the one things I will point out analytically was I believe I saw online that their shot value or goal share, they won those battles in the analytics department. The Dahlin Bryson pairing worked out very well for them tonight. They really their pace of play and driving the puck up the ice was phenomenal. Carrying the puck and the ability to drive play from the back end. They did an unbelievable job in that area. So a couple clicks for Don putting them two together. And you know what? Maybe, like I said, I saw on Twitter, maybe that was the plan. They want them to carry the play, carry the puck into the zone constantly. You saw that a lot in Bryson and Darlene tonight. They both had a great game. If you were to tell me that this team, that Tage Thompson would have over 30 goals, that Jeff Skinner would have over 30 goals, because they're both probably going to score over 30 goals, and Kyle Okposo was going to score 20, which is a very real possibility with the way he's playing, I would have told you we're all on crack. There's no way. There's no way. But like the way you look at these individual achievements from these players, again, like a Tage Thompson, like a Jeff Skinner, who, again, we would have never guessed would have had a bounce back season last year. This guy might be granted the team isn't going to make the playoffs again, but in terms of bounce back players of the year, I think Jeff Skinner should be up there somewhere, because he's had himself quite the nice season, in terms of what this team was expected to do, where they're expected to finish, and how competitive they were supposed to be. Nobody, absolutely nobody, would have ever thought, and if you said that you did predict this, you're an absolute fucking liar, that Jeff Skinner would score 30 goals this season. And he's going to. He's probably going to. Same thing with Tage Thompson. Tage Thompson might have 35. Kyle Okposo, I would have bet my 401k that there's no way that guy is going to score more than 20 goals, but he's probably going to. And it's just been a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to see. Individually, obviously the results aren't there. Wins, not the wins aren't there, but seeing these individual seasons from players you weren't expecting, like, again, your Tage Thompson, your Jeff Skinner, your Kyle Okposo, your Alex Tuck, since he's come to the team, your I'm sorry, his name's escaping me. Dylan Cousins has had some bright spots this season, but it's just a breath of fresh air. And then seeing the reemergence of Rasmus Dahlin and his ability to be somewhat that player that we expected him to be when we drafted him. A player who offensively is very dynamic, very creative, and can drive play. Yeah, he's not the greatest in his own end, but hopefully that comes with time. When the team around him is better or more ready to win, and you're not constantly pinned in your own end where you're playing on your heels a lot, and you're putting yourself in bad spots and making mistakes. Once this team is more ready to win, and you know what? When he has better players on the blue line along with him, taking some pressure off him, that's when you start to judge Darlene as a complete defenseman. But right now, offensively, he's having a great year. I mean, you can't deny it. He is. People can be like, oh, it's all on the power play. It's not 5-on-5. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think he's producing pretty well on 5-on-5. So I don't give a fuck what you guys think. But just to go over some of the stat lines here tonight, and again, just absolute trouncing of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dylan Cousins with 2-point night with 2 apples. Jeff Skinner 2-point night with a goal and assist. Rasmus Asplund actually having a pretty decent game. A guy that we has been struggling to score. I think it's over 30 games. I think they mentioned on the broadcast. It's been over 30 games since he's scored, which he had a very good start to his season. Asplund beginning the season with, as I look here, he had 5 goals, 13 assists for 18 points, because it's 19 points a night. Like he had a good start to the season, and he really tailed off. Was actually kind of one of the bright spots. 20 games in, you saw this guy really performing well. Also Jacob Bryson, the first time where he scored a goal, and it's been in a win, which is a nice little stat, I guess. Middle stat getting on the score sheet with an assist. Kyle Okposo with a goal. Victor Olofsson driving up that trade value, getting a goal on the Asplund rebound. Asplund, the ass man, a little homage to Seinfeld there on the ass man's rebound, tucking it home. And Tage Thompson continuing with his absolute tear of the league. Can't find a hotter goal scorer right now, honestly, than Tage Thompson. Honest to God, the guy is just absolutely on fire. The pterodactyl, has arrived. And then Mark Pysyk with an assist tonight. And as I mentioned before, Craig Anderson getting his 298th win of his career, 2 away from 300. Very excited for that guy. He deserves it. So a couple clicks for him. he should get 300. There's no, barring injury, knock on wood, he gets 300 in a Buffalo Sabres uniform. Again, I hope the team does something nice for him because that guy's had such a good career. I couldn't be more elated. That's another bright spot that I hope to see in this year, for a season highlight. But just to get some of the comments here, Doug Clock. For me, the turning point of the game was the Anderson made that save on Engvall. Yep, on the short ice breakaway. And then after Olaf gave us the lead, Tage Coyne, Jack Paso, Golofson skins. Even Bryson gets a goal. Let's fucking go, boys! I love it. Rasmus Dahlin was all over the ice offensively and defensively. Again, I agree. Like, this is one of his better games of the season. Maybe he isn't standing out on the score sheet, but he looked great tonight. He really, really did. Dango still hasn't told me what size Eakin sweater he wants. I know I saw that comment from producer Steve in our group chat, and that was absolutely awesome. Who's chatting? You're chatting, Mauricio Arenas. Leave us a comment here. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks for the comments. Keep them coming. Just a great performance. And again, you can't deny that. I think if you're going to summarize this game and what was important, what you took from it is this team was able to hold on to a lead and not just hold on to it, but build off it and continue to take the play to the Toronto Maple Leafs, a team that has so much pressure on them here because they've spent so much money on this team offensively, and they're struggling again in net. Peter Mrazek today making his first back-to-back starts of the season, not having a good game. They'll probably, I'd imagine, go right back to Campbell in the next game. Jack Campbell, I'm a big fan of his. I hope he succeeds, man. An American boy, and he's had, he's not. It wasn't a suitcase. I know he, our co-host on Two O's, like Johnny Cullen, was his goalie partner back in the OHL, and they did an article on Jack Campbell, and they actually interviewed Cully for it. And Jack Campbell is just a stand-up human being, just a great teammate. Whether he's starting or he's backing up, he roots for the team. He doesn't care about the name on the back of the jersey. He cares about the crust in the front. So I hope Jack Campbell gets out of this mental funk he's in and gets back into it. I know people might hate hearing me say that because it is the Leafs, but I do love Jack Campbell. Guy is such an absolute beauty. So that being said, man, it's just quite the game. And I just being able to get that game in the garage and hold on to that lead and just play the way they did, control the neutral zone. You saw this was, again, it stood out so much too that like the forwards were getting back with the defensemen. They were playing like a 5-man unit all game in the defensive zone. And it made such a difference because we're not so much used to seeing this team playing well as a 5-man unit in their own end. And it made such a difference. It's obviously they won 5-1, but if you do that more often, even with this team, even with the lack of talent on this team, the lack of goaltending, however you want to, shape it, you do that more often, you will win more hockey games. I'm not sure you're going to have an over 500 record, but you will win more games by doing that. The back checking was phenomenal tonight. When you were losing the pucks on the offensive zone, guys were getting back. They were clogging up the middle of that ice. Again, they were winning all those neutral zone battles. They were winning board battles. And again, you were getting by playing like that and by playing like a solid 5-man unit in your own end, you were getting the saves that you should get from Craig Anderson. Granted, he had to stand on his head not stand on his head, but he had to make a couple big saves, most specifically the one at Engvall, as mentioned in the chat. But he was keeping you in games. You were clearing the rebounds. You were helping your goaltender. We don't see that a lot out of this team this season, and they were doing a fantastic job of that. Seeing guys getting down, blocking shots. I saw that shot that Hayden blocked early in the game. Looked like it hurt, but that's how you win hockey games. You guys, just you build that culture of playing for one another and selling out and doing whatever you have to do to win. I heard on a podcast earlier this weekend after the whistle, and they were talking about guys, the grind, the guys, I know people hate hearing, oh, you need more jam, you need this, but it's true. You do need that on hockey teams in your bottom six. Like, I would take guys like Mike Rear gave you that. Even Adam Mayer back in the day, guy gave you jam, and guys that keep teams honest. They keep teams honest, and they don't come out there and think they can just waltz into your arena or waltz into a game against you and just have their way with you. And they keep players honest. And you need that, and you got that tonight out of these guys. They stood up for each other. With that one exception of, obviously, we all saw that Casey Middlestead just kind of skated away from a scrum that was going on in the corner. It was kind of stood out a little bit, but I mean, whatever. It is what it is, I guess. But they were playing for each other. They were skating hard for one another. They were playing hard for their goalie. And the best part of that whole game was when that final buzzer went, the first time you had full capacity in that arena in a very, very, very long time, and they got booed off the ice. Unbelievable. As a Sabres fan, that I was smiling ear to ear. I couldn't wait to get out here and talk to you guys. Just an absolute, great game, start to finish. And it just makes you so happy. It makes you so happy. So with that being said, if I'm going to give you my 3 stars of the night, I'm going to give Craig Anderson the first star. Guy getting win number 298, made some key saves in crucial times to really keep this team in the game and give them ability to build off that lead, because if he lets that goal in Engvall right after Olsen had scored that goal, like that could be a that could be a back-breaking goal, that we've seen this team give up time and time again, where you score a goal and you give up one immediately right after. Well, that didn't happen this time. Anderson came up big, and you kept the lead and you built off it. So I'm going to give Craig Anderson my first star of the game. My second star is definitely going to go to Kyle Okposo. Guy is such a glue guy and just has been so important to this team. He's just really been a staple in that locker room and been able to you have to contribute a lot when games like tonight where they're able to get games in the garage. I'm not considering points to Kyle Okposo and say, oh, he's the reason it happened. But you know what? He's one of the reasons why these guys can stay so level-headed. And it's like, hey, let's not let us get, dip into those bad habits we're so used to this season where we can't hold on to a lead and we can't get these games into a garage. So, leadership like that in your locker room from a guy like Kyle Okposo is why I'm going to give him my second star. And my first star, my third star, I'm going to give to Tage Thompson. Just continue this absolute terror streak he's been on. Pterodactyl, one of the hottest goal scorers. It's not the hottest goal scorer right now in the NHL in like last few weeks. He's just been fun to watch. His release is unbelievable, one of the best in the league. And, it's, kind of cool to see, them perform this way against a team like Toronto, because I'm just dying for this rivalry to be relevant again. And to have a game like tonight going into the Heritage Classic in a couple of weeks, you bet your ass I'm excited. Absolutely. Because that Heritage Classic outdoor game is the Sabres' third outdoor game. They're 0-2. They're carrying some momentum going into that with them. They know how they have to show up to beat a team like the Leafs. And, watching film this, if you could just take this game you played tonight and bring that with you to Hamilton for the Heritage Classic and the outdoor game, you can come out of that with a win and get your first win in an outdoor game. I'd still like to go to that. I know tickets are a little costly, but I've been both the very first Winter Classic here in Buffalo. I traveled to New York City to go to the one against the Rangers. I feel like I should show up in Hamilton and be there for that, but we'll see. I got to figure those things out. But again, start to finish, man, unbelievable performance tonight from the Buffalo Sabres against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I couldn't be more happier. And let's just check here. They moved to 17-30 on the season, 17-30-8, while the Leafs dropped to 35-15-4. I'm pretty sure these these numbers are updated already. And then Sabres play the Wild at home this coming Friday at 7 p.m. And the Wild sit right now. They are third in the Central, but yesterday coming off a 5-1 loss to the Calgary Flames. So can't wait to touch up on that matchup come Friday. I'm gonna be flying high tomorrow. I'm so happy. Like this is probably the happiest I've been for a Sabres win. Not even for a Sabres, you know. I mean, I remember when they lost to David Ayers against Carolina and how happy I was then. You know, it's games like these against the Maple Leafs that can get me to smile like this for Buffalo Sabres hockey. To see like absolute misery in those fans in that arena when they panned around the arena, and just to see how miserable they were during that game really brings a smile to my face. This really does smell like a first round exit hockey team right here. They better do something at the deadline, man, to improve that team defensively or in net. And like I said, I want to see Jack Campbell win, and I want to see him succeed. But unless they do something on the blue line and improve this team dramatically, or get him someone more reliable as you know, a 1A, 1B situation going into the playoffs, I don't see this team making it out of the first round. I just don't. Like they're so loaded offensively, but they're so hampered defensively. So I would love to see a repeat of what happened to them against Montreal, being up 3-1 and then just blowing that lead. And first round exits, the Toronto first round exits. I love it. But with that being said, guys, this was brought to you by Outlet Liquor, the place to buy a case. Outlet Liquor on Georgia River Boulevard. Make sure you get there. And, you know, I'm going to hang up and listen. I'm going to try and enjoy the rest of my night. You know, I hope you guys all had a good, good Ash Wednesday. Got out, got your fish fries. I did. And with that being said, you know, couple clicks for the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Not often we get to do that, but good for them tonight. Good for, you know, Craig Anderson, 2 wins away from 300. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the rolls rolling. This train never stops. Let's go Sabres. I'll hang up and listen. Good night now.